श्रीमते वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the morning series on the Madhurya Kadambini of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So, this is the most important book in the entire Gaudiya Vaishnav canon because it speaks about the different stages of bhakti which one goes through right from the beginning stage of Shraddha to Prema. So today we will begin with the Mangalacharan verses of Sri Madhurya Kadambini. Hopefully, today's class we will. Oh, the volume is less. Let me check.
Hare Krishna,
Oh, it's
Prabhu,
full.
okay, Prabhu, volume is okay.
Haribol, is it better?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Volume is good, Prabhuji, just good enough.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I think one of the devotees, their audio system must be not so well. Okay. So today we will begin with a brief, you can say, overview of what we are going to study. Not exactly overview, a brief introduction to the Madhurya Kadambini, what this book is all about, and then we will begin with text one. There are only two verses composed as the prayers, invocation prayers in the Madhurya Kadambini. The first two verses, and then it is all a prose. So in our study, we will be studying the prose line by line. Of course, we will divide it into themes. And after dividing into themes, then we'll line by line, we will be going through the prose. So let's begin. So I'm not going through the entire biography of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We had discussed in some other forum this about his entire biography, uh, his uh, his life entire, and I think it was one or two classes. So I'm not going to discuss. But this is one of the famous verses. Actually, it is mentioned in the Vaishnava Pranati, Vishwanath Pranati, actually written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he glorifies Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as what? Vishwasya Nata Rupaso Bhakti Vartma Pradarshanath Bhakti Chakre Vartita Tattvat Chakravatya Akhyaya Bhaved. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is the embodiment and the protector of the path of pure devotion for the world. Bhakti Vartma. Vartma is the path. Pradarshanath. Pradarshanath means he illuminates the path of bhakti. He protects the path of bhakti to the whole world. Vishwasyanatha, he is a Vishwasanyata. He is known as Vishwanath. And because he has compiled books to reveal the essence of Vedic literature, he is known as Chakravarti. Bhakti Chakre. Chakre means Chakre Bhagavad Samhitan. It was mentioned that after Vyasadeva saw in his mystic vision Maya and how Krishna and the Jivas entangled in Maya, then he composed this Chakre Satvatam Samhitan, that is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Like that, he composed the essence, Vartita Tattva, the essence of the Vedic literatures. That's why Chakravati Akhyaya. That's why he is known as Chakravarti. So that's how he got, Vishwasyanatha. So that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. A very beautiful glorification was composed by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, uh, which is Vishwanath Pranati. So, about Madhurya Kadambini, there's one Vaishnava poet called as Krishnadas. I don't know much about him. He has written the following lines in the conclusion and his translation of Srila Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini. I I don't know much about his actually translation. Maybe he translated the prose into the local language, Bengali or Sanskrit, whatever it is. But he has composed this. माधुर्य कदम्बनी ग्रंथ जगत कैल धन्य चक्रवर्ती मुके वक्ता आपनी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य. This is definitely a Bengali composition. So maybe he translated his original Sanskrit into Bengali. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has blessed the whole world. Jagat Koila Dhanya by writing Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya Kadambini Grantha Jagat Koila Dhanya. In reality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has spoken this work through the mouth of Srila Chakravarti Thakur. Chakravarti Mukhe Vakta Apani Sri Chaitanya. So, through the mouth of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Mahaprabhu is speaking. के हो कहें चक्रवर्ती श्री रूपेर अवतार कठिन ए तत्व सरल कोरिते प्रचार. Some say Srila Chakravarti Thakur is an incarnation of Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupera Avatar. In fact, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is generally considered as an avatar of Rupa Goswami because he practically wrote commentaries to all the works of Rupa Goswami. He is expert in the art of describing complex truths in a way that is easy to understand. Katina ei tattva sarala korite prachar. ओहे गुण निधि श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती की जानी बो तुम्हारा गुण मुनि मूढ़मति. O ocean of mercy, O Gunanidhi, Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, I am foolish person. Muni, Mudamati. Muni means I. How can I understand your qualities? Ki jani mein tumhara gun. Therefore, kindly reveal your transcendental qualities within my heart. This is my prayer at your lotus feet. So we are all offering this prayer to Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur so that he can reveal us, his work Madhurya Kadambini, and we can understand Madhurya Kadambini. The following adage regarding the three of his books is popular among Vaishnavas to this day. Kirana Bindu Kana Eitina Nye Vaishnava Pana. So, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur wrote, three commentaries. One is the Ujjvala Nilmani Kirana. Rupa Goswami composed the original work Ujjvala Nilmani, and he, commented on that, and he called it as Kiran. That is his humility. Kiran means a small ray, like the Nilmani emanates rays in all directions, but he's, presenting a small ray in his commentary. So he composed the commentary on Ujjvala Neelmani, which is called as the Ujjvala Neelmani Kiran. And then Bindu. So there is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, and this is the main work of Srila Rupa Goswami, how Bhakti is rasa. And both Jeev Goswami and later on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commented on Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. In fact, these are the main two commentaries of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas on this great work, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which is the most important Abhideya Shastra for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote commentary on each of the verses of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, and that commentary is called as uh, Bhakti Pradarshika, I think it is, or Bhakti, uh, the revealer of the essence of Bhakti, something like that in English, Bhakti Pradarshita Sar, something like that. I'll find out. But he wrote also what is called as the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Bindu. That means the entire Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he condensed it and presented the essential verses in the form of 84 verses. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is around 2,172 verses. It's a vast work, three times more than the Bhagavad Gita. But that entire thing he condensed and gave a short work in the form of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. And Bhagavad Amrita Kana, so there is a Lagu Bhagavad Amrit written by Rupa Goswami, which is in actually a sutra form, the Bhagavad, Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lagu Bhagavatamrita is a sutra form of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote, a small article. It's a small article, frankly speaking. Kana. Kana means, just a Kana. Kana means just a small pebble. So anyone who reads these three works, Kirana, Bindu, Kana, Eite Niye Vaishnava Pan, he can drink these. One can claim to be a Vaishnava when he understands. So definitely we should read these works of especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Of course, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also wrote, as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sadhana Bhakti is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and then Raghunaga Sadhana Bhakti. But he wrote a separate book on Raghunaga Bhakti called as the Raga Vartmaka Chandrika. Raga Vartmaka Chandrika. Chandrika means again, the moonlight, the beam of the moonlight. Raga Vartma. Raga Vartma means again the path. Path illuminating the Raga Marga. So like that. So just to show how he's a Rupa avatar, we can see few Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have written as many books as Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Below is a list of the books, commentaries and prayers, which comprise a storehouse of incomparable wealth of Gaudiya Vaishnava devotional literature. So one is the Vrajriti Chintamani. Vrajriti Chintamani is about the glories of Vrajdam. Chamatkar Chandrika is again very, these books are, some are, we are not qualified to read until we have that adhikar to, we get that adhikar to practice Raga Bhakti in one sense. So these fall in that category: Chamatkar Chandrika, Prema Sambhut, Gitavali, Subodhani, Alankara Kaustubha, Tika it is. Ananda Chandrika. So Ananda Chandrika is actually a commentary on Ujjvala Neelamani Tika. It's a commentary on that. But again, as I mentioned, Ujjvala Neelmani Kiran is in essence, just like, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Bindu. So like that, he had written Ujjvala Neelmani Kiran. And then he has commented on the Gopal Tapani Upanishads. There's a very famous composition which Gaudiya Vaishnavas should know, that is the Stavamrit Lahari. Waves of nectarian prayers. And every day in our temple, Lord Prabhupada established the Samsara Dhavanal prayers. They are the Guru Tattva Ashtaka prayers, you know. And, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur for his Mantra Datra Guru Ashtaka, Param Guru Ashtaka, and then Pratap Paratpara. Paratpara means his Guru's Guru, So like that for, Parama Paratpara Guru Ashtaka, like that. And then Lokanath Ashtaka, Sri Satchidananda Ashtaka, Sri Swarupa Charitamrita, Sri Swapna Vilasamrit, Sri Gopal Dev Ashtaka, Sri Madan Mohan Ashtaka, Sri Govind Ashtaka, Sri Gopinath Ashtaka, Sri Gokulanand Ashtaka, Swayam Bhagavat Ashtaka, Sri Radha Kunda Ashtaka. This is famous. The Radha Kunda Ashtaka is known to us. Jagana Mohan Ashtaka, Anuragavalli, Sri Vrinda Devyashtakam, Sri Radhika Dhyan Amrit, Sri Rupa Chintamani, Sri Nandishwar Ashtaka, Sri Vrindavan Ashtaka. This is again famous, quite known. Sri Govardhan Ashtaka. Now, there are many Ashtakas written on Govardhan. Even there is the famous Raghunath Das Goswami Govardhan Vas Pratna, Dashama. It is, but there is a Govardhan Ashtakam also written by Vishwanath Chakravarti. Sri Sankalpa Kalpadruma, Sri Nikunja Viruddhavali, and Surata Katamrit and Sri Shama Kundashtaka. So these are the Ashtaka prayers which compose the Stavamrita Lahari. And then there is a Sri Krishna Bhavnamrit Mahakavya. Again, these are very esoteric pastimes of Radha and Krishna, which sadhakas are not qualified. Only when you attain the stage of bhava, you can read this. Then Bhagavatamrit Kana, I mentioned, Shri Ujjwala Neelmani Kiran. So this is a condensed form of the entire Ujjalmani, and the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Bindu, Ragavartmaka Chandrika, as I mentioned, Aishwarya Kadambini, which is unavailable, Madhurya Kadambini. And I had mentioned the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Tika is there, his own commentary on the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Dan Keli Kaumudi. Dan Keli Kaumudi is a work by Rupa Goswami, and he wrote a commentary on that. Sri Lalita Madhava Nataka Tika. So there is a Lalita Madhava and the Vidak Madhava. So he wrote a commentary on that. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Tika. This is incomplete. His work was incomplete. The Brahma Samhita Tika is there. And the famous, we know, the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshani Tika, the Srimad Bhagavatam Sarartha Darshani Tika. So one should definitely, as one studies Prabhupada books for few years and is solidly situated in understanding the Bhaktivedanta purports with the blessings of their Shiksha Gurus, their spiritual masters, one should definitely read the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshani Tika and the Bhagavatam Darshani Tika. But among the compositions of Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, one should definitely study the Madhurya Kadambini, the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Tika, the Bhagavatamrit Kan, and the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Bindu. At least these works. Ragvartma Chandrika maybe a little later on. But the other works, one should have that adhikar, and as long as one doesn't have the adhikar, one should not. Of course, the Savamrit prayers, Lahari prayers, one can definitely read. So that is why Rupa Goswami is called Sri Rupera, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is called as a Rupera avatar. Okay. Now, what in Madhurya Kadambini Rupa Goswami is going to do is, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is going to reveal the intrinsic nature of pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti. In fact, in the end of the Prema Bhakti division of the Eastern division of fourth wave, at the end, Rupa Goswami speaks of these stages, Ado Shraddha, Sada Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kriya. So on this particular verse, right from the stages of Shraddha to Prema, in the Madhurya Kadambini, Rupa Goswami elaborates in great detail each of these stages, how one goes through the stages. So the first thing is, the intrinsic nature of Shuddha Bhakti. He will make it very clear that it is Shuddha Bhakti which is to be practiced. And the sequence of its appearance, how Shuddha Bhakti appears. And what is the Bhakti's self-manifesting nature? And what are her unfathomable glories? So from the initial stage of Shraddha to Prema, what is the sequence? And not only that, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur in the Madhurya will present what are the symptoms of each stage. What is the symptoms of Shraddha? Shraddha, which is the adhikar for practicing Shuddha Bhakti. Now, when we say Shraddha, we speak about pure Shraddha, you know, and that is the definition of Rupa Goswami's definition of Uttama Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti, Anya Bilashita Shunyam. So, what are the symptoms of uh, each of the stage? What is the symptom of Shraddha? What is the symptom of Bhajan Kriya? What is the symptom of Nishtha? So, each of the stages he, reveals. And then, what are the offenses to be avoided on the path of bhakti? And this bhakti or this Madhurya Kadambini is like a lantern which illuminates the path of the practitioner of bhakti. It's like our heart is like a cave, a dark cave, and we have to tread this path. So the inner guiding light, the inner guiding light is what Vishwanath Chakra Thakur gives in this path. Just like we have, we go from one place to another place, there is a road which goes, never any road goes straight. So there are milestones to know how far you are from the destination. So these 9 stages are like different milestones and how to recognize each of these stages and what are the different difficulties or the things you need to avoid, especially the offenses, you know. So, or it's like a thermometer by which you can actually evaluate which stage where you are in the bhakti. So that's what Madhurya Kadambini does. And by practicing and following the sacred text of Madhurya Kadambini, where all these 9 stages, he discusses, one can perceive his own stage. You can perceive at which stage of bhakti you are and what are the deficiencies there. What are the actions you should take to further, proceed along the path of bhakti. And not only that, by studying Madhurya Kadambini work, one will have an inclination to advance in bhakti and progress in bhakti. So that's why we need to study the Madhurya Kadambini in detail. Okay, so that's a little brief background of the work we are going to study, Madhurya Kadambini. Now, any questions you have with respect to this before I begin actually the work today? First verse. Any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Okay, there are 2 questions. Yes, Anjan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Uh, nice class that you're giving, Prabhuji, and very much look forward to this course on Madhurya Kadambini. Just wanted to know if by chance, if you are going to miss this, any of these, classes in the next days, is there a way that, we can listen to this recording so that,
Yeah,
and also
it'll be shared. It'll be shared in the group, Prabhuji. Okay.
thank you so much, Prabhuji, because I think, from whatever you're speaking and what I'm hearing, I think, feel like I want to hear it again, even though I might not miss it, I want to hear again. Thank you
Yes,
so
we
much.
will share it. We will share it. Yes, Manohar Sri Gaur Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Say on similar lines, Prabhu, I wanted to know will the slides also be shared, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, we will share. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, just one confirmation that this entire Madhurya Kadambini, it is just elaboration of Ava Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangh Bhajan Kura. That verse, it is elaboration of this?
Yes, only these 9 stages, right from Shraddha to Prema. Uh, he's going to, go into the details of each of these stages. How, first of all, in the first Pratama Vrishti, we'll come to the Mangalacharan and why he, titles his, there are 8 chapters, and each chapter is called as, Vrishti, Pratama Vrishti, Dvitiya Vrishti, Tritiya Vrishti, Ashtama Vrishti. So there are showers of mercy. How uh, in the first chapter he extols or brings out the glories of Shuddha Bhakti. How Bhakti is completely uh, independent. It is a self-manifest and it manifests on its own accord and it is not dependent on anything. So he extols the glories of Shuddha Bhakti. And then he goes into what is Shraddha, what is the stage of Shraddha, and goes into a lot detail into the stage of Shraddha, and then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajan Kriya. What is exactly Bhajan? When you do Bhajan Kriya, then what is happening? So each of the stages, he's in fact he's like just like a spring which is compressed, and you can pull and you can expand it. So similarly, these 9 stages, just one verse of Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he's expanding it in his work, the Madhurya Kadambini, so that we can very clearly understand each of these stages and tread this path and attain success.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So let's now today begin with the first. I don't think so. We'll be able to. Let's try. Uh, we'll try to finish the Mangalacharan verse. So the Mangalacharan verse, any work written by great sages and rishis, it's a tradition, not only in the Gaudiya tradition, but in all traditions in the Vedic tradition. There is a Mangalacharan verse which is composed. Mangalacharana hoye trivida prakar. Chaitanya Charitamrita Kaviraj Goswami says, Vastu Nirdesh, Ashirvad, and Namaskar. So Vastu means, whom is Vedam Vastavam Vastu, whom is, what is the object of his worship. So the Vastu Nirdesh of Srimad Bhagavatam is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's the Vasudev from whom the creation comes. But here the Vastu Nirdesh is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially his mercy that he has given this bhakti. He has, come to give this bhakti, and that too not ordinary bhakti, raga bhakti, vraj bhakti. So that's why his object of worship, he's glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this verse. So it is a Varsu Nirdeshatmaka Pratna, and of course he is also giving the blessings, offering his you know prayers and blessings to the devotees, that what is a mercy we will attain by taking up to bhakti, and what is that mercy. So in this verse he is glorifying this Mangalacharan prayer. So let's recite this prayer. This is a prayer which is in the meter of Jagannath Ashtakam. Ridva Prenava Bhakti Shasya Vitate Sanjeevani Swagama Rambe Kama Tapta Taruda Dhamani Vishwapagallasani Dhuran me Marushakinopi Sarasi Bhavaya Bhuyat Prabhu Shri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankusha Maha Madhurya Kadambini Ridvaprenava Bhaktishasya Vitate Sanjeevani Swagama Ramme Kama Tapta Tarudha Damani Vishwa Ullasini धूरान् मे मरुशाकिनोऽपि सरसि भाय भूयात् प्रभु श्रीचैतन्य कृपा निरङ्कुश महा माधुर्य कादम्बिनी श्रीचैतन्य कृपा निरङ्कुश महा माधुर्य कादम्बिनी Shri Chaitanya Kripa Nirankush Maha Madhurya Kadambini. The mercy of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu Shri Chaitanya Kripa, is an uncontrollable cloud bank of exquisitely sweet nectar. Nirankusha. Nirankusha means uncontrollable or unrestricted. Of what? Maha. It's great cloud bank. Madhurya means cloud bank. Sorry, Kadambini means cloud bank. And what kind of cloud bank it is? Exquisitely sweet nectar, Madhurya, whose sudden appearance, Swagama Arambe. So this mercy or the bhakti, it appears on its own will, just like the Lord can appear on his own will anywhere. So the bhakti is like that, and the mercy of Mahaprabhu is like that. Shuddha bhakti is like that. It will suddenly appear without any qualification also anyone having. Swagame, by its own will it appears, bhakti. Fully regenerate, Sanjivini, the grains of ninefold bhakti. Nava bhakti shasya vitate. Where? In the field of the heart, Ridvapre. And what are the effect when it manifests in the field of the heart? Extinguishes the burning summer heat of lust. Kama taptaradho daha damani. Kama means, the material desires which afflict the heart. Daha means to extinguish. Daha means, sorry, the fire. And damani means to extinguish. And bestows rapture to the universal river of living beings. Vishwa apaga ullasini. Far off, Duran, may those clouds of the Lord's mercy give satisfaction and pleasure. Sarasi bhavaya bhuyat, even to this worthless soul, a dried up tree in the desert. May maru shakinopi. So, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is mentioning the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is unrestricted, Nirankusha, and it is a cloud bank, a series of cloud banks. In the monsoon season now, which we are experiencing, there is shower, continuous shower because of the huge cloud banks. And this shower is shower of sweet nectar. And it has appeared, and it has uh, it has uh, it has sprouted the or given the 9 grains of ninefold bhakti in the field of the heart, and it has extinguished the burning fire of lust in the heart. But I am far away from it. Duran me. And Maru means in the desert, and a withered tree, Shakinopi. Please give me satisfaction. So that's his humility. That's what he's expressing. So let's analyze this verse and try to understand. We will go a lot into detail of this verse today and try to understand this Mangalacharan verse. So in this, 3 things are there. Prabhu Shri Chaitanya Kripa, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya is what? Nirankusha, unrestricted. It is unrestricted. So Nirankusha can, it means unrestricted, or it is, unstoppable. Here it is uncontrollable, it is mentioned. That is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Ankusha means, Ankusha is, the rod which, the elephant rider, Mahut he is called, the elephant rider. He uses it, you know, and to restrict the elephant. But the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is what? Nirankusha. There is no restriction, Everywhere it is spread all over the world. There is no restriction to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in fact, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so unrestricted. It's just like you know, uh, if you are below a waterfall and it is coming from a very high height, and you stand before or below the waterfall, you will be washed away by the current and the, heavy, flow of the waterfall. You guys just cannot handle it. So that is the kind of mercy. It is only Mahaprabhu who can handle it. So you cannot access that mercy. Such is the heavy mercy Mahaprabhu is showering on this world. So only when that waterfall uh, goes to the ocean, or a huge lake. In fact, it should, we should use the example of the ocean, then you can access it. And that ocean of mercy of Mahaprabhu is in the form of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti is a rasa and it is nectar and it is the ocean. So it is only, through Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu we can access this mercy of Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, we cannot go and stand in the waterfall, It's only Mahaprabhu who can handle it. So, and Rup Goswami has composed this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is now giving that, Madhurya Kadambini, based on these 9 stages, he's going to analyze it. And Swagame Arambe means it is unpredictable, coming on its own will. You cannot predict, who will take to Bhakti. You just cannot, whom Bhakti Devi will give mercy, which, Bhakti Devi manifests ultimately from the heart of a pure devotee. It is transformed by his, mercy. Ultimately, the mercy carriers, are the pure devotees in this world. So Bhakti, whom it will manifest, you just cannot, predict. Especially the mercy which is flowing from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Generally we might think, in the traditional Varnashram culture, where everyone is following, a right conduct, proper conduct, he's dharmic, they are practicing bhakti, and, in that kind of a world, if somebody who is, completely an outcast and he shows symptoms of pure devotion of a Mahabhagavat, that is, that they cannot, how is it possible? But that is possible now everywhere. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumba, Yavana, Kashadaya, all sorts of people all over the world we can see, they are able to take up to the practice of bhakti. Why? Because of Mahaprabhu's mercy. So 3 things are mentioned here. Now further, in this verse, 3 results of his mercy are there. And we will go into this detail, 3 results of his mercy. We'll also analyze this line by line, this verse. What are the 3 results of mercy? Ridvapre. Ridvapre is the chitta, the heart, the breeding ground of all desires. So in the heart, what happens? Nava bhakti shasya vitate sanjavani. The new seeds of ninefold bhakti bring crop. So the seed of bhakti is Nava Bhakti Shasya Vitate Sanjivani. The life-giving energy of bhakti is planted in the heart. So this is the you can say in one sense, this is the first effect of bhakti. And this, it's not quite evident from the verse here, but, acharyas have analyzed that because Bhakti Lata Bij is bestowed in the heart, that is Shraddha. So Shraddha, and that Shraddha has come because of Sadhu Sangha, and you take it up to bhajan, and new energy has come in you, and you start practicing bhakti. So this first effect refers to the stage of Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and Bhajan Kriya. And Kama Taptaru Daha Damani, the blazing fire of desires is suppressed. So this effect, immediately when you take up to the practice of bhakti, in fact, when you come in touch with bhakti, just like the summer heat is there, and suddenly there is a lot of clouds, so it becomes cool. And because of the clouds, it is not yet showered, it is not showering, but still you feel cooled. There's a breezing cool, air, and the heat has come down because of the clouds. So it has not yet showered. So even when we come in touch with bhakti, the you know we feel pacified in the heart. The desires start getting pacified. So that is kama tapta du daha damani. But this complete process, we can experience, not the full complete, but at least to a very high degree, when with the practice of bhakti, the modes of passion and ignorance, tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadaschayet cheteter anarviddham stitvam sattve prasidati. The effects of passion and ignorance, kama and lobha, are pacified. So in that sense, we can say that the second effect of his mercy, Mahaprabhu's mercy, is when we, with our bhajan, cross the anarth nivritti stage and come to the stage of nishtha. So this, in one sense, speaks about anarth nivritti and nishtha, which with the bhajan kriya happens. And Vishwa apaga ullasini, the rivers overflow, the river overflowing. Now, just like in the rainy season, monsoon season, the rivers start overflowing, and the current of the river also becomes very strong. And the rivers flow where? To the ocean. They flow to the ocean. So, Vishwa apaga ullasani. So the Mahaprabhu's mercy is such that the entire universe, when Mahaprabhu appeared, the whole universe was lit up. All the jivas, including trees, plants, animals, they were all, experiencing bliss. So similarly, uh, when the devotees take up to bhakti, and their bhakti especially reaches the stage of ruchi, asakti, and bhava, that means more of spontaneous devotion, then their devotion flows towards the lotus feet of Krishna, which is compared to the ocean. So, in that sense, Mahaprabhu's mercy comes in stages. It comes in stages, So, the first stage is Ridvapre, when we get bhakti and we start practicing bhakti in the association of devotees and start doing our bhajan. So this is the first effect which is mentioned in this verse, Ridva Prichit Shasya Vitate Sanjeevani. And the second effect of Mahaprabhu's mercy is when we attain the stage of Nishtha, when the anarthas are uh, eradicated and we attain the stage of Nishtha. And then the third result of his mercy is Vishwa Apaga Ullasini. Just like the rivers become full and satisfied and overflowing and start, flowing with a high current, towards the ocean. So similarly, with the stages of Ruchi, Asakti, and Bhava, the bhakti becomes spontaneous and flows towards the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's how his mercy also comes in stages. And Duran me maru shakinopi, I am far, far away from this mercy. That's his humility. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, is a Premi Bhakta. He's an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. He's a Manjari in the spiritual world, and he came down here in order to uh, uh, further, continue the parampara and give Shuddha Bhakti. But out of his humility, he is praying. And, prema cannot manifest in a heart where there is no humility. And when there is humility, there is prema. So that's how he is, also uh, telling us that we should develop that humility. So that's what the three results of, his mercy is mentioned in this verse. So now, actually, uh, I will go into the line by line discussion on this, and I will use the whiteboard for that. But before that, as I mentioned in this work, that Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, on these 9 stages which are described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he is going to elaborate these 9 stages uh, in his work Madhurya Kadambini. So let's recite this verse. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangota Bhajan Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritya Syat Tato Nishta Ruchistata Tata Saktistato Bhavas Tatah Premabhidyanchati Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradurbhava Bhavet Krama. First, there is association with devotees. Ado. In the beginning, we associate with, by which one gains faith. Because when you come in the association of devotees, you hear Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva. So then your faith building, you start gaining faith. Then one associates with devotees. Tata sadhu sangha. To learn scriptures and then practices bhakti. Atha bhajan kriya. So you have to again associate with sadhus and learn deeply the scriptures. And I would just like to, draw a very important point here, which sometimes devotees uh, don't really pay quite, minute attention. So here also, Prabhupada speaks about, the stages of bhakti. Shraddha is one stage. One has little faith in Bhagavad Gita, he should learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee. But sadhu sang and bhajan kriya, he says, when one searches for a devotee and fortunately gets a devotee's association, he's already learning the Bhagavad Gita from the devotees. But then he has to search a devotee who actually is self-realized, who understands, the bhakti tattva, and he's practicing Shuddha Bhakti. And he has to get his association and actually begins to study and understand the Bhagavad Gita. So this is what exactly is being also stated here, that one tries to learn the scriptures and understand the Bhakti Tattva. So that is what he is going to do in the first way, Pratama Vrishti, that the glory of pure devotion, how Bhakti is completely independent of karma and jnana. Sometimes we might feel that maybe I'm practicing Bhakti, but I should also add Ashtanga Yoga in order to practice Bhakti. No, Bhakti is completely independent of karma, jnana and yoga. So all that, when we understand the glory of pure devotion, Bhakti Tattva, so that is what is required. Then understands Bhagavad Gita. So initially our study of scriptures is to understand, the basics. But really in Tattva we have to understand. So that is what here it is mentioned. That is also part of Bhajan Kriya, for your kind information. The anarthas are then destroyed. Tato anarthya nivritti syat. So here also Prabhupada mentions, that Anarth Nivritti, by advancement in the association, all the misgivings about Krishna. So when one studies Bhagavad Gita and understands all the verses, all the intricacies, what is the connection between this verse and next verse? In this verse, what exactly Krishna is saying? Have I understood it? And what is the connection between this chapter and that chapter? What is the connection between Arjuna's question in the 3rd chapter and the 18th chapter? You know, all that tattva becomes very clear. you know all the misconceptions are eradicated, all your doubts are dispelled about the tattva. Then the misgivings, that is anarth nivritti. So when you attain that, then what happens? Anartha destroyed, steady bhakti without confusion follows. So now you are practicing steady bhakti. Please remember, steady bhakti. So this also you are practicing bhakti, but that bhakti is not steady. But steady bhakti begins from here, Nishtha. From Nishtha, the steady bhakti begins. Naishtiki bhakti, it is called. You know, desire for the Lord, Ruchi appears, Ruchi tata. This for this is followed by spontaneous desire for the Lord, Asakti tata asakti. This becomes Bhava, tato Bhava, and then Prema, tata Premna abhidyanchati. This is the progression. I am Krama Bhavet for manifesting Prema. Prema Pradurbhava for those performing sadhana bhakti, sadhakana. Now, this is a very, very important verse, and why Vishwanath Chakra Thakur has commented, written an entire work, Madhurya Kadambini, on this particular uh, 2 verses of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is because it is for sadhakas, sadhakana. When Mahaprabhu was present, manifest during his pastimes here 500 years back, the flow of bhakti and the flow of his mercy, Nirankusha, he was bestowing bhakti to everyone. And just by his darshan, none of them went through sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anarth nivritti, nishtha, ruchi. Directly they were getting prema and they were going back to Godhead. That was his mercy. That was his uncontrollable, unrestricted mercy. But when Mahaprabhu's pastimes are not manifest now, that prema can be attained only by practice of sadhana. So that is why it is mentioned premna pradurbhav. Prema manifest for those performing sadhakana. So now that Mahaprabhu is not manifesting his pastimes he has wound up. So one has to take to sadhana bhakti. And this prema will manifest by practice of sadhana bhakti when sadhana bhakti becomes sadhya bhakti. And sadhana bhakti goes through these stages: Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Anarth, Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. So that is the, krama. Pradurbhava bhavet krama. So this is how krama, step by step, this prema will manifest. Bhakti, can manifest by the Lord's mercy, without any practice of sadhana, as Putana, Putana did not do any sadhana. She wanted to kill Krishna and she came with that intention and she breastfed Krishna and Krishna just gave her prema. She did not go through, stages of Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, everything in one shot. Or that fisherman, Mahaprabhu, in the night, you remember, in the Antilila, it comes up that he used to just go out and once, he jumped into the ocean and this fisherman caught him. He thought it is fish, but it was Mahaprabhu, in his complete different manifestation. And just coming in touch, he got prema and he got completely intoxicated in prema. So that is very rare. And that happened during Mahaprabhu's time. Even Krishna did that, you know. But generally, sadhakas have to go through these stages in order to attain prema. And prema, it's not that prema, manifest only at the stage of prema. Prema is there even in the stage of Shraddha. There is Shraddha means, there is a, you know, a tiny amount of prema there. It's fully not manifest, just like the waxing of the moon. The first day, you can see only a little crescent and it keeps on increasing. So prema is there even in the stage of Shraddha. And gradually with, you know, uh, association of sadhus and doing bhajan, that prema will increase. When anarth nivri happens, the prema will more manifest. With nishtha, it's like half manifest. And asakti, ruchi, bhava, it like, almost like the full moon. And the prema is like the full moon, like that. So pradhur bhava kramates. So that is why in his Madhurya Kadambini, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is going to elaborate on all these stages, especially the stage of Shraddha has to be understood. What is the Shraddha? And we'll be discussing when we come to the Dvitiya Vrishti, the Dvitiya Vrishti, the second shower of nectar. That time we will be discussing quite in detail. Okay. Now I'm just going to discuss line by line uh, this verse. Oh, it's already 8:30. I did not realize that. I still could not discuss the line by line of what we want to a little more discuss on this verse in detail. And time is up, so I don't want to cross the limit. But up till now, what we have discussed, if you have any questions, I would like to take up. Any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Any questions anyone has? Okay, so then we will stop here and tomorrow we'll continue this discussion and tomorrow we will a little bit go into detail of the analysis of this entire verse, line by line. We'll do that and then we will discuss the next verse also, which is part of Mangala Charan. And then we'll go into the actual work of the Pratama Vrishti, the prose. We will go into that. Okay. So thank you very much and we'll see you tomorrow then. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai. Hare Krishna.